question already. All right, sige. That's courage there.
I pick number 12.
Question number 12.
Go Sandra.
Hi, good evening to you, candidate.
Good evening.
This is your question. What initiatives can be taken to promote inclusivity and diversity in the workplace? Should I repeat the question or do you want me to translate it in Filipino?
We're all good.
We're all good. You're that smart, girl.
What initiative should we take into workplace? I am currently working as a customer success manager and it is in a US-based company. And working in a BPO industry, I would say that it doesn't matter whether what degree you have, for as long as you have determination, for as long as you can communicate yourself, and for as long as you can do the work, then I would believe that the initiative that you need to have is first, you have to have the determination, you have to have the skill, and you'll be able to have to communicate to the people. Thank you.
You're ready? Alright, I have no choice. You can do this. Question. Considering the economic challenges faced by many Filipinos, what role should the government play in creating job opportunities? Do you want me to repeat it or translate in Filipino? Repeat and translate. Let's repeat first. Considering the economic challenges faced by many Filipinos, what role should the government play in creating job opportunities? Ito yung aking sariling salin. Sa harap ng mga hamong pang-ekonomiya na kinakaharap ng maraming Pilipino, ano ang papel na dapat gampanan ng gobyerno sa paglikha ng mga oportunidad sa trabaho?
O Karen, kayang-kaya mo yan.
Wow, maraming salamat po sa isang napakagandang katanungan. Marahil hindi ko na po pipilitin pa ang aking labi upang sumagot ng wikang banyaga. Ika nga sa punong hurado, Miss Stephanie. Para po sa akin, ang kailangan po natin magtignan pasin upang magkaroon po ng magandang trabaho dito sa ating bansa, sa ating bansang Pilipinas, ay ang unang-una, ang budget. Bakit? Dahil dito sa plataforma ng ating bansang Pilipinas, ang mga government na nakaupo ay masyado na pong kinukurap ang bawat miyembro ng ating komplikasyon or bawat proseso ng ating bansa. Kaya mas nahihigpitan po ang pagtatrabaho ng bawat tao dito sa mundo dahil tayo mismo, mga nakaupo sa ating government, ay hindi natin nasasaklawan ng tamang budget at tamang pagsweldo sa mga taong nagtatrabaho. Bakit? Unang-una, bakit merong pong mga nurse, teacher na pumupunta sa ibang bansa? Simple lamang po, dahil hindi po sapat ang sweldo dito sa bansang Pilipinas, kaya kinakailangan po nilang lumipad sa ibang bansa. Ang una-una po nating bibigyang plataforma, ayun po, ay ang budget, upang nang sa ganon, wala nang pamilya ang mauulila, wala nang mga batang iiyak at maghihintay sa kanilang pamilya. At least, kahit tayo'y nandito sa Pilipinas, tayong lahat ay unting aahon. Magandang gabi po.
Wow. So, please pick your number.
Thank you.
Okay, you picked number 6. Just to show you the proof. Alright. You ready? Here we go. What measures should be taken to protect the rights and welfare of LGBTQ++ individuals in the Philippines? Do you want me to repeat the question or translate in Filipino? Repeat and translate. Alright, great. What measures should be taken to protect the rights and welfare of LGBTQ++ individuals in the Philippines? In Filipino, anong mga hakbang ang dapat isagawa upang protektahan ang mga karapatan at kapakanan ng mga individual na LGBTQ+ members sa Pilipinas?
Being part of a marginalized community such as an LGBTQIA+ and women alike, I think that these networks or this part of the community is being is lacking their opportunities when it comes to livelihood, with their career, with their housing, and with their livelihood in general. So I think the measurements that we should do as one is to provide education such as symposiums, to provide data that will help them, for them to move forward so they can advance in the society and to step up their level in our social nation. So I think that having said that, if we do this as part of measurement to help them so they can advance and evolve as human beings, I think that we can help them. We can help them by having a collective change of growing. So I think that as one, we can all do this if we all will cooperate and will be kind to one another. Thank you so much and good evening.
Alright. In other words, educational literacy and collective action. Thank you. Candidate number 7, Patricia. For transparency, you may just show it to me. Thank you. Okay, number 2.
Go Ate Meg.
You ready? You want to be. Here's your question. How can we address the misinformation that spreads on social media, especially when it affects public health and safety? Do you want me to repeat the question or translate in Filipino? Okay, I'll do that. How can we address the misinformation that spreads on social media, especially when it affects public health and safety in Filipino? Paano natin masusolusyonan ang maling impormasyon na kumakalat sa social media, lalo na kung ito ay nakakaapekto sa kalusugan at kaligtasan ng publiko?
Go Ate Meg. Kahit English yan.
I will revise it. Okay. In simplest form, paano natin masusolusyonan ang misinformation or fake news or false news sa social media, especially kung related ito sa ating public health or kapakanan, kalusugan ng mga tao?
Alright. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for that wonderful question. There is a lot of things that we need to consider when it comes to social media. I believe, as a software developer, the best solution to eliminate misinformation, fake news in our social media platforms is to create an AI or artificial intelligence that will automatically eliminate or remove bad information. Why do I say so? Ladies and gentlemen, as a software developer, many people says that this is not our winning, that AI will be the problem of us Filipino, most especially for those low-income earners. It will affect the manpower, especially the low-income earners. But I believe this AI will be the solution to remove and eliminate fake news and misinformation, especially when it will affect health and development. Because ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to health, it follows the mental health of everyone, which is very relevant right now. A lot of people use the social media to discriminate, criticize other people, and we all know that mental health is as important as physical health. So with this AI, we can eliminate this, and I believe this AI has its own purpose, a purpose that will contribute something for the advancement of this whole mankind. Good evening.
Thank you so much. Candidate number 9 is Mikey Quintos. What's your number? Number 1. Alright.
Alex Boy, kalma
Thank you
mo
so
ha.
much.
Dadali ko sa parang
Here's your question, dear. With climate change being a pressing global concern or issue, what steps do you think individuals and communities can take to combat the crisis? I will repeat it and we will translate it. With climate change being a pressing global issue, what steps do you think individuals and communities can take to combat the crisis? Sa issue ng pagbabago ng klima, anong hakbang ang sa tingin mo ay maaaring gawin ng mga individual at komunidad upang labanan ang krisis na ito? I think you're good.
Good evening, first of all. The question itself, it says that climate change is a pressing issue around the world and has been experienced by almost all over the country, especially in the part of South, wherein the icy part of our globe has been melting, and that caused by global warming, and that will be get to the point of climate change. Now the question to me was, what will be my move to eradicate the climate change? I believe in the Sustainable Development Goals of the United Nations, number 4, where it says that quality education. For I believe what Mahatma Gandhi once said, that is always our education is the most it's Nelson Mandela who says that education is the most powerful weapon that we can use to change the world. Climate change, hindi po natin mawawala, hindi po mawawala yan sa ating mundo. Global warming, hindi po yan mawawala because it is part of our world right now. What we can do is to know what we can do as a people through quality education. And that I am calling the Department of Education or the Department of the Environment and National Resources to conduct symposiums, to conduct awareness on what is really happening when there is climate change, when there is global warming, and that people will have the information to know kung ano yung magagawa nila as an individual. Because at the end of the day, tayo po ay isang tao lamang. Kung tayo po, we will have the collective action through the help of our government, specifically the DNR, the BFAR, or in general, the Philippine government, we can attain the environment that we are all living for. At the end of the day, we are all just living here on earth, and we have a manifestation that we can uplift our society with the tenet of love, peace, and harmony for a pro-person environment. Thank you so much.
Alright, Kikintos.
happy viewing, be. Mawi mo.
Wow, one of the crowd's favorite as well. Candidate number 10 is Heart Evangelista. Pick your number, dear.
Akio. Lipay. Ano ba kayo?
Okay, number 15. Thank you.
Ganun talaga pag may lipay na.
You're ready? Let's go! What role do you believe the arts and culture play in the development of a nation? What role do you believe the arts and culture play in the development of a nation? Diretso ko na sa salin para patas sa lahat. Anong papel ang sa tingin mo ay ginagampanan ng sining at kultura sa pag-unlad ng isang bansa? Nation building and national development. Go.
Maraming salamat po sa napakagandang tanungan. I believe this is the crucial part of this competition tonight, where our judges will not just only examine our physical beauty but also our intellectual capacity. I don't want to go around the bush. Para po sa akin, ang importante ng pagpapahalaga at ang kinakatulong ng sining at kultura, ito po, unang-una, ang ating turismo. Pangalawa, it is actually for us Filipino to give value for what our historical historical things, and fossils and artifacts. It is really important for us to give value for these things, not just because to continue progress our country, but it's important for us, for young generation, to know the history of our country, which is Philippines. So, I always believe that I want to request our government, if there is a politicians here, or if there is a leaders out here, I want you to empower more our museums. Because our museums is one of the important place where our co-Filipinos and other tourists, foreigners will see the value of our own artifacts and historical things and fossils. I always believe, my dear friends, that they should empower our museums, because I always believe in Article 2, Section 4, that our government prime duty is to support and protect our own Filipinos. So I believe if this will help the all Filipinos for the progress of our country, then I hope some politician will empower more our museums and our historical, ang ating sining at kultura. Sabi nga ho nila, mahalin ang sariling atin. Now, my dear judges and all the audience tonight, if my opinion is against to everyone's opinion, then so be it. But I will never ever bend on my own understanding to what is truth, correct, and acceptable. Good evening.
Thank you. Miss Casey Concepcion. Pick your number, dear.
Last kong dalawang shakera.
Perfect. Another machi, number 13. Okay, you may use my microphone after I ask you the question. This is your question. In light of the global pandemic, what lessons should the Philippines take forward to improve its response to future health crisis? I repeat, in light of the global pandemic, what lessons should the Philippines take forward to improve its response to future health crisis? Do you want me to translate? Okay. Sa harap ng pandaigdigang pandemya, anong mga aral ang dapat isaisip ng Pilipinas upang mapabuti ang tugon nito sa mga hinaharap na krisis sa kalusugan?
Thank you. Now the question is, what should our government or the Philippines, am I correct? Anong magandang tugon? Marami pong salamat.
Quiet muna.
Alright.
Sasagot si Ate Ay.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I always believe that no matter what law you pass here in our Constitution, kung hindi natin ito tinutupad, walang mangyayari. What I would recommend as a citizen, what we should learn from the global pandemic, it is the lesson of being prepared and being alert. Why? Simply because lagi nilang sinasabi prevention is always better than cure. Do you think the cases, the rampant cases of COVID-19 could have been prevented if we closed our borders early on? If we conducted those seminars, those health kits, those health tests, then definitely we could have prevented more than what we have accomplished here. Mga kaibigan, lagi natin tatandaan. Minsan sa buhay natin nalilito tayo. Hindi natin alam kasi nga yung pinagdadaanan nating krisis dito sa mundo, walang nag-e-expect. That is why what we should do is we should be alert. We should be prepared. Lagi nating tatandaan, ang dami-daming batas. Pero alin ba yung mga batas na yun ang sumasaklaw dito? Ipatupad natin agad. Sa nanunungkulan dito sa ating bansa, Pangulong Bongbong Marcos, alam ho namin na napakahirap mamuno dito sa ating bansa. Ngunit, kung siya po ay mayroong mga panelists, when these panelists can be prepared, eloquent, enlightened, mabilis ang kilos kapag nandiyan na uli ang pandemya, isara uli ang mga gate, wala mo nang papasok. Isipin natin yung kapakanan ng mga tao rito dahil tayo rito, yung naghihirap mga kaibigan, we should set proper boundaries, proper examples, and proper health cares, wherein we should have a health care law just like what they have in United States of America, wherein they have access to free health care, na kung saan meron naman tayong PhilHealth, ngunit kulang ho yung discount na nakukuha natin. Mas maganda pa rin yung mayroon tayong libre.
libre po na gamot, libre na mga bagay, free access to medical health care. Because I always believe, my dear friends, na lagi nating tatandaan dito sa mundo, ano pa man yan, kung yung mismong mga ospital natin, hindi natin naayos, hindi natin natutugunan. Lagi nating tatandaan, tugon, aksyon, implementasyon, sigurado, lulusot, patungo sa tamang direksyon. Yun lamang ho, maraming salamat, magandang gabi. Naway natumbok ko yung tanong.
Resilience and preparedness. Perfect. One brave and courageous woman there.
Ako pa ba? Ako na to.
Here we go. You ready? Here we go. In your opinion, what is the most significant barrier to achieving gender inequality in the Philippines? Sorry, it's time to be corrected. In your opinion, what is the most significant barrier to achieving gender equality in the Philippines? And how can we overcome it? One more time. In your opinion, what is the most significant barrier to achieving gender equality in the Philippines and how can we overcome it? In Filipino, ano sa iyong palagay ang pinakamalaking hadlang sa pagkakaroon ng kasarian, pagkapantay-pantay sa Pilipinas at paano natin ito malalampasan?
Well, thank you very much for that very difficult question. I believe that the intention of whoever made the question is to challenge the intellectual capacity of each and every individual. Allow me to answer the given question direct to the point and speak my mind and my heart towards the question itself. What do I think is the most significant barrier for us to be able to achieve gender equality in the Philippines? I always believe that whenever I scroll over social media, I am a fan of waking up, using my TikTok account, Facebook, Instagram. Whenever I check everything, there are really some people who tend to degrade one another, and mostly in the part of the LGBTQI community, our fellow member is the one that's degrading us, the one that disrespecting us and not accepting us. How we are going to be able to achieve gender equality if first of all, the disrespect and acceptance started within your own community. Ladies and gentlemen, in order for us to achieve gender equality, we must love, respect one another, regardless of what your gender is. If you are from the LGBTQI community, you must be a weapon to eradicate discrimination and not be this liability that could destroy people to love us, to respect us, and to treat us like a human. Dahil ang nagiging problema po sa kagustuhan nating umangat bilang isang bakla, ginagawa natin, tinatapakan natin ang kapwa natin bakla. If we wanted to eradicate discrimination and we wanted to achieve gender equality, it must start within our own community. Good evening.
Thank you. Certainly not the least.